being that majority of my work is with MGK, and I'm kind of handling all of his music videos. At the end of the day, it really comes down to me and him just having a conversation, and he's like, hey man, like I want to shoot a music video for Lonely Road, and I knew that was a huge song for him, and I was kind of scared and happy that he was asking me, because I knew it was such a big song, and I knew it was such a big task for me to take on to like really execute, and it really worried me about failing. And I didn't want to fail him on this one, because he took 2 years to even get the song right. Like,
that's great. Can we pull up the video just in the background, the Lonely Road video? But yeah, so this one was that's not it. That's it. Yeah, with Jelly Roll, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Bubba.
So this was a 2-year process for him to like release the song, or
just to do the song. Yeah. The song originated. We were on a studio trip. It was me, Kels, Slim, Baze, a couple of our producer friends, Charlie Handsome, Nick Long, Sean. We all go out to Big Sur. It was a producer that did all the early Kanye stuff. His name's Jeff Basker. Mm-hmm. He owns this amazing studio that's out in the middle of nowhere in Big Sur, like right by the beach. It's got its own private beach, and we were there for 3 days. But we went down to the beach on like the 3rd day after, he's just locked in making music every day, and we were riding back up in this truck in the bed of a pickup truck, and Baze, my bearded friend, started singing Country Roads by John Denver. So we're all like in the bed of this truck, just like, country roads, take me home. And Kel's like, like that would be a cool flip. Like we should let's make a emo sad version of Country Road by John Denver. And so we got back to the studio, and he started doing a guitar riff, and they really started the song. But from that was 2 years ago, and this song probably came out a month, 2 months ago. So it went through probably like 47 different studio sessions, all sorts of different mixing sessions. And he's such a perfectionist, which is like such an amazing thing to see, because a lot of people don't care about their craft, and like he really fucking cares about his craft. And so he redid the guitars on the song like 50 times. It was 50 different guitar licks, and it's like, to me, that is like, when you're coming up with those guitar licks, like that's something you really create it out of nothing. And like Nick Long and Kels himself and Baze, they're all so talented with guitar that they were just like bopping around until they went to Travis Barker's studio, and Papa Trav kind of reined everybody in, and they started coming together with a cohesive sound. But once it was at the end of everything, he was like, Sam, like I want you to do the Lonely Road video. And I was terrified, and I'm like, oh shit, like this is crazy. And I was talking with Vincenza over at Interscope. Shout out to Vincenza. But I needed a good producer on this video. And I think it goes back to like, you can't make great work by yourself. You can and you can't. If you want to make something really great, you need a team. You need to trust in your team. And like on this video, I really wanted to get a good team together. So Vincenza hooked me up with Angel, who's an amazing producer, and he helped me, go over the lines and all of the budget. And it was a pretty big budget. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the number, but it was a pretty big budget. And that's really what scared me, is when I saw all those dollars that were really on my head, and I'm like, yo, what if I fuck this up?
Was this the biggest budget that you've worked on?
Aside from Life in Pink, yeah, like for a music video, definitely. The biggest budget film I've worked on. Yeah, so I really wanted to get a perfect team together, and Vincenza hooked me up with a solid producer. His name's Angel, and he helped me go over all the lines and, really calculating the budget for this one. And I had to hit up my guy. His name's Mason Prendergast. He is a living legend if you haven't heard of him, but he's a bigger camera nerd than me. So like when I just bought a red Raptor and rigged that out in January, but I hit him up and I'm like, Mason, like, should I buy a red Komodo? And he's like, Komodo? He's like, no, buy my Raptor. Like, I'll give you all this shit with it. And so he hooked me up, but he shoots a lot of really cool, like, Aston Martin feature or Aston Martin specs and car commercials. He's doing, like, all the real cool shit with camera arm cars, with Aston Martin, Toyota. I think he's done Mini Cooper and also a Cadillac. But he's a phenomenal DP, and I was like, I need Mason for this one. Like, I cannot shoot this video by myself. So I hit up Mason, and thank God he was available. His AC, Giuseppe, was available. My steady op was Ryan. my steady op was the bro Ryan. I don't know his last name so far. But
where did you guys shoot it at? Is it in LA or no?
Yeah, we shot the video in Big Bear, California,
okay.
so it's like 2.5 hours away. But we wanted something that wasn't LA.
Yeah.
It would have been so much easier to shoot it here or even go to the Disney lot, but that's just, it becomes such a union thing, and we could have done it with that budget, but we just wanted it to be, you know, once we made it out to Big Bear, we had a location scout mob out there and send me pictures, and I'm like, you know, this almost looks like the movie A Place Beyond the Pines, which is really like kind of the inspiration of this music video. But me, it was the whole idea. Like after Kels asked me to do the music video, it was me, him, and Megan at his house, and we just wanted to come up with a cool story. And you know, we all love the movie Place Beyond the Pines, and we kind of just like made our own version essentially. And we were just sitting there and going through like the timeline of the song, different timestamps and like what would come where. And yeah, it was just a cool story. And like, you know, Jelly Roll, he's just such an amazing guy, and he's like provided so much insight to all of us in the MGK camp on just like life. He's just like so knowledgeable about everything. But we wanted something that would like make him look very cool, and we wanted the video to be like a tearjerker in a way and like emotional. We wanted it to make people feel something, you know. And I think we definitely achieved that, and we went over points of you know, like Coulson and Megan's part in the music video is she's pregnant, and you know, they're together and they're kind of going through a financial hardship, and he works at an auto body shop with Jelly Roll, where they're pretty much like losing money on all the parts they have to buy for these cars, so they're in there working their ass off, and he's not making money, which ends up leading him to the point where he has to rob the bank and, you know, steal money for his family. In the meantime, you learn about Jelly and Bunny's story in the video. They were dealing with infertility, and I just think that's another topic that like it's not really addressed in all the time, and you know, it's a really hard thing to deal with. And I think just, you know, having those two problems and just like all of them killed their role so well that it really made you feel what we were trying to get the viewer to feel. And I just thought it was so cool to really make something that kind of felt nostalgic, like the Place Beyond the Pines movie, and just really tear at people's emotions, I guess. Like,
yeah. What was it? I mean, how big of a contrast was this, like from just filming your typical run and gun videos? Like, have you ever done anything this big of a scale besides the Hulu documentary, or was this like the first time where you're just like, this is kind of insane, especially for something where it's like a lot different than a documentary, right? Where it's like interviews. This is like strictly like pretty much like you have like control over like every image in the video.
Yeah. I was so terrified to really start on this video, but I was like, you know, if I don't start now, it's just going to get uglier for me. And I just really submerged myself into the project, and I'm like, you know, like this is what my month is looking like. Like my month is Lonely Road. I'm like, fuck everything else. Like miss me with that. Lonely Road it is. So, I just really locked in, and, you know, I'd never spent so much time on pre-production on anything leading up to Lonely Road. Like even the documentary I told you about, it was so on the fly, and that was really my first feature documentary, and I just kind of learned stuff as I went, which was amazing. But this one I was like, you know, I really got to take my time, and like we got to get this story right, because we're working with so much money, and we have all these locations and a lot of people that we have to feed and pay if we go overtime. So I was really monitoring that, and my AD on the set, Mark, really helped me kind of rein everybody in on time. But I was so grateful, and I feel like God was really working through us on this music video, because it was a 4-day shoot. 3 days we spent in Big Bear, and it was like we would start at 8 in the morning, set everything up. We'd go till midnight. We never went overtime, so we saved money, and everybody, you know, was eating. Everybody was fed. It was all good. But no, it was crazy, because every day we needed it to be sunny. It was sunny. And then the first or the day that Jelly Roll comes, we were shooting the funeral scene first. And as soon as Jelly comes and we're about ready to, you know, get up the first shot, it starts pouring down rain. And my location scout that lives in Big Bear was like, it hasn't rained here in 4 months. Like, this is crazy. Like, you know, and she was over here trying to gas it up like, oh, this rain is so great for the funeral scene. And, you know, everybody else is like, it was really pouring. So they were like, oh, get me out of here. Everybody's hiding under the little tarp that we had. And, you know, I'm like, this actually is great. I'm like, everybody just get out in the rain real quick. We'll run like 2 shots. And like, we couldn't ask for a better time to shoot this. Like, this is perfect with the rain. And as soon as we got the shots and we started packing stuff out of there, the rain stopped. We get to the next location where we needed it to be sunny again for him to, I think he was robbing the bank in the daytime. So we had to film him riding there in the sunlight. And it would have just looked so weird if we did that same rainy day. As soon as we left the graveyard, just sun came out. We're all just like, this couldn't have worked out any better, you know?
Yeah.
And then the 4th day of shooting the music video was back in LA, where we got a studio set. It was a real bank, but it was just, you know, not in use anymore. So really all we had to deal with was like blurring out the FCID stuff that's on the, you know, the register of the bank and the bank name itself. But it was pretty crazy. Like that last day, we were all so beat from.
Did you edit this project?
Yeah, I edited the whole video.
Crazy.
It sounds like everything went pretty smoothly though, for the most part, right? Like
it did. And I was so obsessed with this video. Like as we shot it, every shot, like, everybody was so happy with every shot that, you know, when they came to watch playback, and I just felt so good. I'm like, okay, this is going the way I want it to. And in the end, after we shot the last scene, it was him and Megan. He was in jail, and we had to hire a baby, like she had the kid, you know, and so we have to meet the baby, and it was just the sweetest little baby, and they're over there like hanging out with I believe it was a girl. I forget her name. I'm sorry, but cute little girl, and they were hanging out with her for a while, and then, you know, we bring her into the little jail set, and Megan comes in, and it was really her showing him his child for the first time since he had went away for robbing the bank for his family. Yeah. But after that shoot, that was the last shot of the whole video, and I just go home and I just edited the entire video in probably 7 hours that same night. Like I stayed up. It was more than 7 hours because I was up till 5, 6 in the morning the next day. Damn. And I sent him a bounce export of the whole video at like 5 a.m. the next day, and he just texted me back. He was like, "What is wrong with you?" Like, I don't know, bro. I was just addicted. Like, I had to get it done.
Yeah.